Hi, sorry about that. I'm having to do a part 2 due to some technical difficulties and too much data on my phone, so I had to delete some things. Okay, sorry about that interruption. Okay, so I should have mentioned this in the beginning probably, but I do have here in the middle the author of the research, who is Roland Fryer, a nice little picture of him there. And oh goodness, the poster has been made by jaclaw herself. Oh, and look, I put a lovely little picture on there just to bug my daughter. Okay, so let's talk about the research methods. Now, I felt that the methods, well, first of all, this whole project was quite large, so I kind of had to zone in on just some bits of it. But anyways, he definitely used quantitative methods, one being historical data. So when he first, I guess, decided to start this project, he had heard a story of a girl named Temptress whose mother actually tried to name her after an actress on the Cosby Show. However, the mother, being uneducated, didn't realize that she misspelled the word. Well, I'm guessing she was uneducated, and so the name was Temptress. So as you can imagine, if she lived up to her name, it wasn't unlikely that she ended up in court. However, the judge did ask, what was the meaning behind her name? So then he started to think, well, do names, bear result on how people grow up, and are they successful or unsuccessful? So he started a study. He did a study using historical data. What he did was pull records from the state of California on every baby born over a 40-year span, from 1961 to the year 2000, or roughly 40 years. Now, he also did content analysis. The records revealed data showing not only names, but who their parents were, what level of education their parents had, the baby's ethnicity, and home address, amongst a few other things. So he had quite a large report to analyze. And then he also, in his studies, did some comparative with experimental methods as well. He did a study that I'll get to in a minute where he sent resumes out with only a name difference on them. Okay, so we'll go ahead and talk about his study that he did when he pulled the records from California. He had hundreds of thousands of records of these babies. So they went through them, and an interesting fact that he found was that most of the unusual or unique names were born to African American mothers. In fact, a little fun thing in his study was he found, I believe it was 228 spellings of the name unique. So for fun, I put some spellings up here on the board. You can zoom in. Some of the spellings that he noted that he used, and I just made up a couple other ones. They were probably on the list too. I don't know. But it was evident that the African Americans were wanting to be different. And after reading about this study, he did believe it had something to do with the Black movement, or after the Black movement, where they wanted to stand out apart. So the names really started changing. I believe it was in the 70s, 80s, and we know now they're still pretty different. Although I think the whites are coming along with some different names too. But that's another topic, right? Okay. So he also found, in looking at the other data on the report, that the same African American mothers were also majoritively single mothers, not unwed. He found that they were not educated to their full potential. He also found that their home address or their zip code told the story of where they came from. Many of them in poverty conditions. And so that told a bigger story to him